Alright guys, today we have a 2014 Nissan Altima and we're gonna replace these brake pads. And we have the new brake pads. We're gonna use this Monroe brand. These little sensors, they always go up like that. I'm gonna show you why they go up. And okay, I made a mistake. This car doesn't have to be up. Most cars, they're required to be up because they have a little bushing in the back, and this one doesn't. So to do these brakes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this little bolt in the back, which is a 14mm. We take our ratchet and you loosen that bolt. This is a 14mm bolt in the back of this caliper, and you don't have to take out the top one. You could just lift up the caliper like that and it should come off, and then you can slide out the caliper pin and you can see these brake pads are done. They're finished. And let me take off this one. Same thing here. This brake pad is done. This was squealing. If you have that kind of squealing coming, is this little sensor here, which is grinding. It's warning you to change the brakes. Alright, so to put the new brake pads, it's very simple. First, what you can do is to clean up these little shims here. You could take a file or a blade. These look pretty clean. This car doesn't have too many miles. So, alright, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put this on hold. Alright, so the first brake pads we had, they was wrong because this brake pad does need this little sensor on the top. This is the sensor. If you do not have this, if your brakes does not have this, they're wrong, okay? Because this is required for this car. This works like a little spring. So what happens here is these brakes, they go in. You push this little sensor down. This works like a spring. I'll push the brakes in and out, in and out. And same thing in the back. You got the wrong. You got the wrong. All right, I went to go grab the other one from the opposite side because this has to be up. And you do the same thing. You put the sensor in and make sure this mechanism works the way it's supposed to work. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some brake grease. You're gonna lube up the brakes a little bit because this helps. From the caliper. And next, grease on the floor. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this caliper, we're gonna push this piston back in. What you do is you use an old brake pad, you place it there, you take your tool and you compress that piston back in its spot. So all you do is push it right back and it goes right in, and then next, you take this caliper, you put it in the bracket, slide the pin inside, and you bring the caliper down. You take your number 14 bolt, you put it behind the caliper where it belongs, and you always want to check this line. Sometimes people, they twist this line. You twist this line, the brake is not going to work properly. And then what you do next is you tighten the bolt in the back. I always like to double check my work, so you grab your piston, the cylinder caliper, move it around, check the bolts. Both brake pads are in there. I've seen people put one pad in, the other one's not in there. So you want to make sure everything is in place. Job is done. You always want to press this pedal. You see how it goes all the way down? That's because you compress the piston of the caliper, and you always have to press that down. Make sure you pump the brake a few times before you start.